guys, this is Vijay, biology lecturer from Ailabad Junior College. So in this session today we are going to discuss about Unit 1 Living World, few past or previous year question papers in detail. Let's start. So the next question is about biological organization, which starts with, this also the most important question, repeated question. So this we have discussed in the different levels of organization, the formation of cell, then cell leads to the tissue leads to the organ leads to the organ system leads to the organism, then organism forms population, community, biome. So like we have discussed about this in detail. Okay, so here are few options given, like submicroscopic molecular level, cellular level, organic level or organism level, and last one is atomic level. Okay, so the biological organization which starts with, though the biological organization is related to the formation of cell, but this organization starts from the atomic level. Okay, so atomic level leads to the molecular level, then molecular level leads to the formation of cell, then the cell leads to the tissues, tissue leads to the organ leads to the organ system leads to the organism. Okay, so according to this particular question, the right answer is option D, that is atomic level. Atomic level is the first level where the biological organization starts. Okay, so option D, atomic level. Now let us go for the next question. The living organisms can be unexceptionally distinguished from non-living organism based on their ability for. Okay, how these living organisms are unexceptionally distinguished, different from the non-living organism. Here are four different options given: responsiveness to touch, interaction with the environment, and progressive evolution. Okay, growth and movement. Okay, so the right answer for this particular question is reproduction. Reproduction is one of the important life property that could able to differentiate a living organism to the non-living organism. Okay, this could able to form the different generation of a particular species. Okay, so reproduction is the most important feature that could able to distinguish from the living and non-living organisms based on their ability. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option C, reproduction. Now let us go for the next question. Which one of the following aspect, which is an exclusively important characteristic features of the living organism? Okay, here are four different options: increasing in mass by accumulation of material both on the surface as well as internally, and option B, that is isolated metabolic reaction which occurs in the in vitro method of culture, and option C, that is increasing the mass from inside of the organism, and last one is perception of events happening in the environment and their memory. Okay, now let us see which one is the right answer for this. So this particular question, which is related to the growth and development, we have discussed in detail. When we are discussing about this growth, there are two major categories of growth of a living and non-living factors. Okay, intrinsic growth and extrinsic growth. Intrinsic growth, which deals with the increasing in size of mass from the inside of the body itself, the growth of an organism which arises from the inside of the body, that is intrinsic growth. Extrinsic growth is nothing but accumulation of different masses from the outside of the body or the surface or the material. Okay, so according to this particular question, the right answer for this question is option C, increasing in mass from inside of the organism. So option C, increasing in mass from inside only, is the right answer for this question, option C. Okay, now let us go for the next question. So look at this question, that is increasing in mass, number 1, number 2 differentiation, number 3 increasing in number of individuals, number 4 responding to the stimuli. Which two points are known as the twin characteristic features of the growth? Here are 4 different categories given: increasing in mass, differentiation, increasing in number of individuals, responding to the stimuli. Okay, so which two points are closely related to the growth? Now let us see the answer. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option D, that is 1 and 2, that is increasing in mass, increasing number of individuals. So these both are related to the category of growth, because the other categories are there. You see, differentiation, it does not related with the growth, it shows the classification, different kind of species. Okay, then the final one, you see, responding to the stimuli, this is not related to the growth, this is one of the ability or the character or the characteristic features of the living organism. Okay, so that is one of the life property, responding to the stimuli, responding to the abiotic factors. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option D, that is increasing in mass, it may be internally or externally, and increasing in number of individuals, these both are related to the growth. So the right answer is option D, 1 and 3. Now let us go for the next question. Generally, growth and reproductions, which both are growth and reproduction, both are, here are 4 different options. First one, mutually inclusive events, mutually exclusive events, either A or B, and none of these. So generally, growth and reproduction both are mutually exclusive events, both are not inclusive. So the right answer for this question is option B, growth and reproductions are mutually exclusive events. Let us go for the next question. So this question is like a match the following. So match column 1 with match column 2. So here are, in match column 1, here are 6 different species given, and in the column 2 you can see the different mode of reproduction and the name of the scientist which is given. Okay, so look at this question. Now let us go for the right answer for this question. Okay, in column 1 you see planaria, fungi, yeast, hydra, amoeba, and species plantarum and systemae naturae. In column B you see binary fission, asexual mode of reproduction or asexual spores formation, budding, true regeneration, fragmentation, and Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, now let us match this both column and find out the right answer. Okay, now the right answer for this question is option B. Here we see planaria. Planaria, we have discussed about regeneration previous video. You know, in this particular unit 1 living world, some most important points. So regeneration is one of the characteristic features of the living organism. So the true regeneration can be seen in the planaria, is one of the example. Of course, this regeneration can be seen in the human body. You know, growth of nails and growth of hairs are the few examples for regeneration. Yes, some vestigial organs present in human body. Okay, so planaria, which is related to the true regeneration, and B, fungus, which is related to the formation of asexual spores. You know, we have discussed about fungus which undergoes for asexual mode of reproduction by formation of conidia spores formation. So that is related to option, you know, in the column option 2, that is asexual mode of reproduction. Then C, yeast, if you see that yeast which is related to the undergoing the mode of reproduction like budding method, you know, yeast is related to budding. Fungus also undergoing for the reproduction, mode of reproduction by fragmentation. Okay, then when we are talking about this hydra also undergoing for budding mode of reproduction. Okay, and amoeba undergoes for binary fission, this type of asexual type of reproduction. And Species Plantarum and Systemae Naturae, these are the two different books are written by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, Species Plantarum, he described about different type of plants, where the Systemae Naturae, he discussed about different varieties of animals in detail. So these are the two different books written by Carolus Linnaeus. So obviously the right answer for this question is option B. Option B, which is exactly matching with each other. Okay. Now let us go for the next question. So the next question is about again the mode of reproduction. Okay. Which set of the organism multiplying by fragmentation? Here are four different options given: earthworm, amoeba and fungi, earthworm, fungi and bacteria, fungi, filamentous algae and mosses, then amoeba, hydra and bacteria. Let us see one by one. Earthworm, it never undergo for fragmentation method. Amoeba, just now we have discussed, it undergoes by binary fission, mode of reproduction. Fungi, of course, undergoes by the method of fragmentation. But the total set they are asking. So option A is not the right answer. Option B, you see, earthworm, it will not undergo for fragmentation mode of reproduction. Again, fungi, it undergoes for fragmentation. Again, bacteria, it undergoes for binary fission or conjugation. Binary fission is like asexual mode of reproduction. Conjugation is like sexual mode of reproduction. Okay. Then when we are talking about this third option, fungi undergoes for fragmentation. Filamentous algae like Spirohera, one of the example. And this filamentous algae is undergoes for this fragmentation mode of reproduction. Of course, it is a right answer. And mosses also undergoes for fragmentation method. So option C is the right answer for this. Again, if you see the option D, that is amoeba. Just now we have discussed, it undergoes by binary fission mode of reproduction. Hydra, we have discussed budding mode of reproduction. Again, bacteria. Okay. So the right answer for this question is option C, fungi, filamentous algae and mosses. So option C is the right answer for this question. Now let us go for the next question. Which of the following organisms do not reproduce? Which of the following organisms do not reproduce? Here are four different options: mules, sterile worker bees, both A and B, and D is none of these. Okay. So mule is one of the organism which do not undergo for reproduction. Okay. So it's a type of hybrid variety of organism. Sterile worker bees, under the category of honeybees, when we are discussing about, there are three different categories: queen bee, drones and worker bees. So drones are said to be male bees, and queen bees, which of course which lays the egg and maintain the entire colony of honeybees. Okay. And worker bees, the major function for these worker bees are collecting the honey and nectar. So these worker bees never undergo for reproduction, they are sterile. Okay. So this particular question, the answer is option C, both A and B. Mules will not reproduce, as well as sterile worker bees. Sterile itself mentioned here in the question. Fertile means they can able to do reproduction, they are sterile. So sterile will not undergo for reproduction. Option C is the right answer, both A and B. Now let us go for the next question. Metabolic reactions takes place. Here are four different options given: in an isolated cell-free system, in a living system, living organism, and option C, both A and B, and option D, either A or B, any A or any one B. It may be the right answer. Okay, let us see this metabolic reaction. Okay. So this metabolic reaction is one of the biochemical reaction takes place in all living organism. Again, these metabolism are divided into two different categories: anabolism, catabolism. Creative or constructive, then destructive processes, we can say like. So constructive processes or destructive processes of this living organism, that is said to be anabolism and catabolism. Okay. Now talking about this metabolism reaction takes place in option A, if you see, it takes place in isolated cell-free system. Of course, these metabolism can be possible in a in vitro method. In a in vitro method, we can able to grow the organism in a cultural medium. Okay. So there the metabolic reaction can be takes place. So option A is the right answer. Similarly, this metabolic reaction takes place in the living organism itself. That is option B. That is also right answer. So the right answer for this particular question is option C, both A and B. So the right answer for this question is option C. Now let us go for the next question. Organism that can respond to the stimuli are, here are 4 different options given. Eukaryotic type of cells or eukaryotic type of organism, prokaryote type of cells or prokaryotic organism, that they only respond. And option C, both can respond for the stimuli or the external force. And option D, that is those with a well developed nervous system. If any organism which has the well developed nervous system, that only able to respond for the stimuli. So these are the 4 different options. Let us see the right answer. The last option, if you see, if the organism which has the well developed nervous system, that means you can take it as an example for the touch me not plant. So that plant, when we are touching, it started to close its petal of these leaves. There we cannot able to see well developed nervous system. So that is responding to the stimuli, external stimuli. Okay. So option A, if you see eukaryotes, all the eukaryotes are responding to the stimuli. Eukaryotes are nothing but plants, animals and other organisms, higher level organisms. Okay. And prokaryotes are nothing but bacteria, primitive cells. They also respond according to the temperature. They also respond according to the medium where it is growing. Okay. So all other factors they would able to respond. So the right answer for this question is option C, both prokaryotes and eukaryotes are responding for the stimuli. Now let us go for the next question. Yes, the next question is about the general characteristic features of the living organism, salient features of the living organism. Okay. So here are 5 different options given. Are they all generally characteristic features of living organism? They are asking the question. Growth, reproduction, responding to the stimuli, metabolism, cellular organization. Okay. So all these categories, if you see, are the general characteristic features of a living organism or a life. Growth, of course, growth and development is one of the major property of the living organism. Reproduction, yes, of course, which is related to the formation of a particular species generation, sustaining the generation. Responding to the stimuli, of course, they involves for responding the abiotic or any other external stimuli. Okay. Then metabolism, any living beings they undergo for this biochemical reaction. Of course, cellular organization, different levels of cellular organization can be seen in the living organism. So according to this particular question, option B is the right answer. All are the general characteristic features of the living organism. So this question particularly we can see the answer is option B. All characteristic features are related to the general features of living organism. Okay. Now let us go for the next question. The next question is about growth, development and functioning of living body is due to. Here are 4 different options given. Order, homeostasis, metabolism, adaptation. Growth, development and functioning of living body is related to, is due to. Okay. Order is not a characteristic feature. Okay. Order is a category of taxonomic hierarchy we have discussed. No, species, genus, order, family, these all are taxonomic categories. So option A is not the right answer. Homeostasis, which is related to the maintaining of body temperature according to the environment, changing of environment, the environment temperature of the climate, how far the organism able to sustain. So that is not the right answer. Metabolism is a very, very important feature. It is one of the living organism's general characteristic feature. So this would able to help for the development and growth of the organism. Okay. So growth, development and functioning of the living organism is due to metabolism. Option C is the right answer. Of course, adaptation is not related with the growth and development of living organism. Okay. So the right answer for this question is option C, that is metabolism. Metabolism is the right answer, C. Now let us go for the next question. Which type of organization is found in only living being? Okay. What type of organization is present in the living beings? Here are 4 different categories: atomic level, molecular level, mixture level, subcellular level. Okay. So in the living organisms are made up of cell. Okay. And this cell leads to formation of tissue. Tissue leads to the formation of organ. So according to this particular question, the answer is option D, that is subcellular level. Subcellular level. Of course, this molecular and mixtures, atomic, these are related to the particles. When we are talking about atomic level, molecular level, no, these are made up of particles. When we are talking about the living organism, we are talking about the subcellular level. So the right answer for this question is option D, subcellular level. Now let us go for the next question. So in the previous question we have discussed about the living organisms are related to the subcellular level, but the organization which is the different levels of organization in the living being, that of course it starts from atomic level. As we have discussed earlier, atomic level leads to the formation of molecules. Molecules leads to the formation of organic compound, especially protoplasm. This protoplasm leads to the formation of cell. Cell leads to the tissue. Tissue leads to the organ. Organ leads to the organ system. Organ system forms the individual organism or living organism. So next question is about this only. Organization levels in the human beings are, here are 4 different options given. If you look at these options, so the right answer is option B, which starts from the atomic level. The levels of organization, the living organism starts from atomic level. But all the living organisms are made up of subcellular level. Okay. Different levels of organization in the living beings are made up of atomic level, molecular level, submolecular level, cellular level, tissue, organ, individual. Option B is the right answer for this question. Now let us go for the next question. So the next question is about biological organization. Okay, living organization, biological organization. So biological organization starting from or begins from. Here you can see few different options: cellular level, atomic level, organism level, submicroscopic molecular level. So biological organization which starts from molecular level, and these molecules are made up of microscopic, no, submicroscopic molecular level. So the right answer for this question is biological organization which starts from submicroscopic molecular level. The right answer for this question is option D, submicroscopic molecular level. Now let us go for the next question. Carolus Linnaeus, who evolved a system of nomenclature. So he made a system of nomenclature. You know, we have discussed very detail about this particular topic. He made binomial nomenclature, the system of binomial nomenclature, naming of organism with 2 major terms like genus and species. Okay, so here 4 options are given: mononomial, vernacular, binomial, polynomial. Mononomial related to naming of organism in a single word. Polynomial related to naming of organism in a multiple words. So binomial nomenclature was first proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. It's a very, very important question. So the right answer for this question is option C, binomial nomenclature. Option C. Now let us go for the next question. So the next question is about which one of the following is the species. Here 4 different options are given: Carnivora, Canis, Familiaris, Canis familiaris. So here these options are related to species. Which one of these is species? The right answer for this question is option D, that is Canis familiaris is the right answer for this particular question. Okay, option D is the right answer for this question. So far we have discussed few questions from this unit, living world, in detail. Few more questions we are planning to discuss for the further video. Until then, thank you children.